Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about how you can register your business or UK company if you're a non-resident. Okay, so essentially you might be a business owner who currently has headquarters maybe in Kenya, in Nigeria, or in India as an example, okay, but you're actually looking for whatever reason to open a UK company here in the UK. Maybe you're looking to have a subsidiary or some other type of business venture for whatever reason here in the UK, and you are a non-resident. Now I'm going to be talking you through how you can do this, because although on the surface of it it looks quite simplistic, I think that there are a lot of things that you actually need to consider, particularly as you are going to be doing this as a non-resident of the UK. Welcome back. If this is your first time, my name is Tess and I'm a UK based qualified accountant, and if you ever want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, you can find the link to do so down in the description box below. It will also be pinned in the comment section below. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this, I share such videos on a weekly basis, so please do go ahead and give this video a like, make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications. So let's dive straight in. Now, to start with, there's some important considerations that you have to be aware of before actually making the decision as to whether or not you want to have a UK based company here in the UK despite being a non-resident of the UK. The first consideration to think about is your correspondence address. Okay, this basically means where are all your official documents going to be sent to. You are going to need a correspondence address. Now, obviously, if you are not a resident of the UK, i.e. you're based in another country outside of the UK, there are a number of ways you can get around this problem. The first way is obviously making sure that maybe you have a friend or a family address that you can use as a correspondence address. You can also look to using a virtual address. At the startup wallet, what we tend to do for our clients is that we tend to use our address as the correspondence address for any of our overseas clients, so that any correspondence that they receive from HMRC or Companies House can be dealt with immediately. Okay, so it is very important that whatever you decide to go with as your correspondence address, it's important that you are aware of any communications that are being sent there and that they are being handled as soon as possible. The last thing you want is for HMRC to send you a tax related query and no one is there to actually open that letter and get you to start dealing with it as soon as possible. So it's very, very important that you think carefully about what address you're going to use as your correspondence address. Now, the next thing you're going to want to consider is a business bank account for non-residents. Now, you typically might not always need this, but I would strongly suggest that you do look into opening a business bank account if you're a non-resident. This is because it will make your accounting a lot easier. It will make it so much more easier to track if you're able to actually open a business bank account despite being a non-resident. Now, there are a lot of options out there. Typically, there are lots of online banks that offer you the facility to be able to do this. So it's something that you could do some research and basically use the one that suits you best. Essentially, it's always very, very recommended for you to use a business bank account just because it helps to track your income and your expenses from your UK activities a lot more easier. The last thing you want is maybe to have a business branch in Nigeria and another business branch in the UK, and when it gets to the year end and you are trying to tie up your accounts, you're not sure which sales have come from which, and it will just save you a lot of headache. Okay, so I would strongly suggest that if you're looking to have a branch of your business here in the UK by establishing a UK limited company or just a UK partnership, whatever it is always advisable for you to also open up a business bank account where the sales from your UK activities will be going in, and any other thing that you're doing within the UK, business related of course, will also be going in and out from that particular business bank account. Trust me, it will make your life a lot easier. Now, that takes takes me on to the third thing that you need to consider, which is taxes. Yes, that's correct. Now, as a foreign resident, you still need to pay taxes on any income or sales that you make from your UK activities. Okay, so this is no different to those who operate within the UK and are residents. Now, the only thing that is different that you need to pay attention to is the fact that if you are an overseas person, so if you're a foreigner who's looking to open a UK company here, you will not have any personal allowance that will help you offset those taxes, okay? Not unless you have a working visa. So you have to bear that in mind. Typically, if you're working with a good professional accountant, they will best advise you on what the best route to take is to make sure that you are being as tax efficient as possible. But it's definitely something for you to be aware of, which is, what will be the best tax efficient route for you if you are someone who is looking to open up a UK-based business and you're a foreigner. Now, the next thing to be aware of is filing your taxes. Okay, so just like every other company here in the UK, you will be required to file taxes, okay? And this is something that's very important. This is going to be one of your responsibilities as being a business owner, a company director. So it is important that you are aware of all the different taxes that you need to file and all the different accounts that you have to submit on an annual basis as well. Usually what we tend to do at the Startup Wallet is that we tend to do these on behalf of our clients. Now, whatever accountant that you register to surely will be able to give you some advice on how best they can handle that for you. Now, it is very important that you try and keep on top of this, because usually if you're in another country, then that particular country will have their own specific dates. They will have their own specific legislation and rules around, tax filing for limited companies, etc. So it's very, very important that you don't get the dates mixed up, because there are a lot of dates to keep track of. So the easiest thing that I would recommend if you're looking to open or set up a business here in the UK and you're a non-resident is to make sure that you have an accountant that can handle those side of the matters for you. The next thing you're going to need is employer's insurance. Now, if you're going to be hiring employees here in the UK, it's very likely that you're going to need employer's liability insurance. In some cases, you might also need professional indemnity insurance, which is basically a type of insurance that's to cover you for any type of liabilities that may occur during the execution of your professional duties. So it's very important that you do some research if you are definitely looking to hire employees as part of opening or setting up a UK-based business, but being an overseas person doing that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the form that you're going to need to fill and submit to Companies House. Now, it's very important that with this particular form, I would strongly suggest that you have an accountant do it for you. This is because until the form is correct, if there are any omissions from the form, Companies House will keep sending it back to you and they will not open the company on your behalf. So this is the form you're going to need to fill, okay? So all you need to do is basically search through Google for the OSIN01 form, okay? So this particular form, I will say, is very, very detailed, okay? It has roughly 15 pages. You don't have to fill every section in, but you do have to be aware of what particular section is relevant for your business and for your particular situation. So like I mentioned before, I'd strongly suggest that you have an accountant fill this on your behalf, just because it's not as straightforward as registering a company if you are already a resident and if that company is going to be headquartered here in the UK. So, but this is the form. It is very, very detailed. There's several parts to the form. If you are interested, I will leave the direct link for this form down in the description box below, so you can have a look at it. This particular form, you cannot fill it online on Companies House. You do have to print the form out fill out the details yourself, and then send it to Companies House with a postal order of £20, okay, to pay for the form. I will also say that this form has to be correct, because if it's not correct, Companies House will keep sending it back to you and they will not open the company. So it's very important that you check over it several times, because if it's wrong or if there are any omissions that are left out, they will keep sending the form back to you. So to save your time and to save the hassle, I would always recommend that if you're looking to complete this form, to open up your business here in the UK, but you're overseas, just have an accountant do it for you. Please don't forget to give this video a quick thumbs up. I do have some other videos up on my channel which I think will be very, very useful to those who are business owners or company directors. So do check them out. If you have any questions at all, if you have any queries, please use the link down in the description box below to contact me or drop me an email. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I will see you in my next video.